So where did they take y'all?
They put hoodies over our heads, and from there, I don't know where they was taking us or anything like that. But I do know for a fact that my hands was tied behind my back. But what they did not realize is they forgot to search me. So I reached enough into my back hip pocket where I had a little pocket knife. And I was able to sit there and cut my ropes. When I got me and Chris McLaughlin and the other two ropes cut, we just sat there and basically acted like our hands were still tied until we were able to figure out a way how to basically get out. When they got us to wherever they were taking us, the next thing I know is they said, was, you either talk or be killed. We want to know exactly what you are carrying in the Humvee. And all we said was medical supplies, because that was what we were carrying, was medical supplies, and we gave them our name, rank, and everything, serial number, and everything. And they was not satisfied with that. They began to torture us. We was a POW for 72 hours. Now, being a 72-hour POW really sucks. Because you're thinking to yourself, where in the hell is your backup? Where's your rescue? That's basically all you're basically asking yourself. And you're thinking, okay, rescue's not coming. You're basically going to have to figure out how to get out of this yourself. And I began to pray to God.
Thank you, Lord.
And I told my guys, I was like, look, I said, we're going to have to start praying here. I said, if you believe in God or not, I said, right now is the time to start believing in whoever you got to believe in. If it's God or Satan himself, I said, we got to get out of here. And they started believing in Jesus Christ immediately.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
And all of a sudden, the torture had stopped.
Yes, Lord.
Everything had just, it was like a bright light had basically shut the doors. The enemy couldn't come into the doors anymore.
Thank you, Lord.
They couldn't come in and torture us.
Yes, Lord.
We got loose and we were ready for them. We took our hoods off. We looked around. And I was able to send out a message through the computer. And it said, SOS. We're at this certain location. And I sent it to the high commanding officer that was back at base camp. And I used code name Venom. When they basically got the message, or however they do it over there, and they look, and he goes, "We got a message from a unknown source, but it's marked Venom." When they opened it and saw exactly the location, the coordinates and everything, they said Venom's in trouble. The next thing I know is we were still held in that vicinity, in that building, for 72 hours. We could not get out. We were surrounded by enemy forces. And I'm sitting there going, "God, where is our help? Where is our backup?" And next thing I hear, and it was unmarkable, unbelievable. I could not believe to what I saw. I hear a familiar voice coming from out of the middle of nowhere, saying, "Venom, we're here." And I happened to say, "We're in here. We can't get out." And they said, "Stand away from the door." We stood as far back as we could and grabbed whatever we could grab and put around us. And the next thing I know was, boom! The door blows open. I remove the little mattress that I had, and the familiar face that I saw was Chris Kyle. And I said, "Chris, it's good to see you, man."
Yes, Lord.
I gave him a hug and I told him, "Thank God you come." He goes, "No, thank God for the message that you sent with your location, because we didn't know what happened to you." And I said, "Only thing I want to do, Chris, is go home."
Woo!
And Chris said, "Home?" I said, "Home."
Yes, Lord.
And that's just what the rest of the guys said. "We just want to go home."
Oh, God.
For that 72 hours of being held in that building was basically a living nightmare. We were basically tortured, starved, hurt. We were basically been hooked up to batteries, hooked up to anything that they could find to torture us with. They even put out hot irons. And forced us to feel the heat off of them, to tell us what we were carrying. And they would go out to the Humvee and they would search the Humvee and all they would find is medical supplies. No guns, no nothing, just medical supplies.
That is amazing.
And they wanted to know what else the Humvee had. I don't know. I ain't the one that loaded it. They were looking for guns. They were looking for ammunition. They were looking for anything that they can get their hands on. But I will tell you this. After being a POW for 72 hours and frightened and scared, it really, really puts the fear of God in you. And you're saying, well, you're not supposed to have fear. Oh, let me tell you. You do have fear. You're not supposed to show it. But let me tell you, it's a nightmare. Now, I will say this. The military doesn't tell you about the PTSD that you have or that you will have.
Survivor's guilt.
Or survivor's guilt.
Night
Oh,
terrors.
God.
The night terrors. I'm telling you, when you do end up with it, it's terrible. Waking up in the middle of the night crying out for your Sarge. Waking up in the middle of the night reaching for that gun. Waking up in the middle of the night terrified with night sweats, tears running down your face, and blaming yourself for your best friend's death, or blaming yourself for your sergeant's death, or blaming yourself for the guy that you're supposed to be looking out for. It eats you up, not just the inside, but the outside. Because you think that you should have done something better. I'm telling you for a fact, I'm living that nightmare today. I live it day by day. And then you want to go and commit suicide. Well, let me tell you something. That's not the answer. If you want to commit suicide, do me a favor. I'm going to give my number out right now. Call 615-457-9767. And I'll be glad to talk with you. Day or night. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't care. If you have to wake me up in the middle of the night, I'll be glad to talk with you and tell you that it's not okay to commit suicide. If you feel like you want to commit suicide, brother, sister, friend, I don't care. I will tell you, you don't want to do it. If you're a civilian and you want to commit suicide, call me. Because I know God is right there. That's the devil telling you that you want to commit suicide. But me and God knows there's a better answer.